Hello friends, good afternoon. Am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me so that I can begin with today's short session on Battle of Buxar. Yes, my friends, am I audible and visible? Today's session again won't be much lengthier, but it is very interesting session. Okay. It's just 20 to 25 minute session. Yes, good afternoon, Abhishek ji. Just hold on for a second, guys. Thank you, Abhishek. Okay. So, hope everyone's Dashera was very fine, very good. Yes, my friends. And one more thing, like many of the students have a question and they usually keep on asking me the questions on Telegram. Sir, like we have already covered modern Indian history series. So, why are we covering modern Indian history again? My friends, if you observe the previous lectures of modern Indian history, it is approximately 22-23 sessions are there on modern Indian history. Therein, I have covered things in quite depth and detail, but the most important aspect, that forms the basics. I have not covered Anglo-French wars. I have not covered Anglo-Afghan war, Anglo-Maratha war, Anglo-Mysore war, Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar. And all these aspects I'm covering in these sessions. These are classroom sessions. Like in these sessions, I go in the same manner as I go in the paid classes. Okay. So here the things would be covered in quite depth and detail. Yes, Rishi. Good afternoon. Thank you. Just hold on for a second, guys. Yes, Udayji. Hello. Good afternoon. Rashmi. Good afternoon. Yes, guys. Now, without wasting any more time, let's begin with our session. Battle of Buxar. Now, before I start with Battle of Buxar, let's analyze the situation that led to Battle of Buxar. Okay. Secondly, those aspirants, those who are new to the platform and are watching my lectures for the first time, they can download the PDF of the previous sessions from my Telegram channel, history_Alok Ojha. And they can also download the sessions of this, the PDF of this session from the same channel. Okay, that is history_Alok Ojha. Clear? Now, listen to me patiently. Listen to me very carefully. Again, I will be going in a step-by-step manner for easier understanding of the concept. Yes, very good afternoon, Kirti. Now, Battle of Plassey, which took place in 1757. And after Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar was being declared as the Nawab of Bengal. And Mir Jafar accepted many terms and conditions of the English East India Company, which actually broke the backbone of Bengal's economy. And the credit for the Battle of Plassey, as per English or British historians or European historian, goes to whom? Robert Clive. Robert Clive is often hailed as the hero of Battle of Plassey. Now, who was Mir Jafar? How did Mir Qasim come to power? What were the administrative, military and financial reforms that was being undertaken by Mir Qasim, which actually led to Battle of Buxar, which was fought in 1764 between an alliance of three, that is Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla, that is Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam II, one of the later Mughal emperors. So let's understand things in quite depth and detail. Okay, yes, perfect. Abhishek. Now, this person, Mir Jafar, he was made as the Nawab of Bengal after Battle of Plassey. And he remained loyal towards English East India Company. It is said that he had accepted certain terms and conditions of the English East India Company, and one such condition was that he is going to pay hefty amount of money to English East India Company. By October 1757, Mir Jafar, the Nawab of Bengal, he was able to pay a large sum of money to English East India Company. But it is believed that after Battle of Plassey, huge money was drained from Bengal's treasury to the treasury of English East India Company. And the reason was Mir Jafar and the policy that he had accepted of English East India Company. This completely broke the Bengal's economic backbone. Apart from this, now English East India Company started pressurizing Mir Jafar that when are you going to pay the remaining amount? So Mir Jafar, he took permission from Robert Clive that at least give me 3 years. And in the next 3 years, I'll be paying your money in 6 equal installments. So at this time, Robert Clive accepted. But the problem here was, at this particular point of time, English East India Company also started interfering with the administration of the Bengal. And once they started interfering with the administration of the Bengal, what happened here? The entire administration was in doldrums. Economy of Bengal was collapsing. And now this person, Mir Jafar, was fed up with English East India Company and its interference. So Mir Jafar joined hand with Dutch East India Company. And as soon as Mir Jafar, he joined hands with Dutch East India Company, the British East India Company comes to know about this. And they immediately attacked whom? They immediately attacked Dutch East India Company and they defeated them. Mir Jafar, it is said that immediately after attacking Dutch, what happened? Robert Clive, he retired from the governor of Bengal or governor of Fort William, and he went back to London. As discussed earlier in this part of the session, or in the previous part of the session, that Robert Clive is oftenly hailed as hero of Battle of Plassey. And when Robert Clive went back to London, there was another person who was chosen as the governor of Bengal. And that person's name was Henry Van Straat. I repeat, Henry Van Straat. So when Henry Van Straat was chosen as the governor of Bengal, he called Mir Jafar and asked him, when will you pay the remaining amount? At this time, Mir Jafar, he was so frustrated that he said that, I regret that I'm not able to pay the remaining amount to you. And secondly, I won't be able to pay a single penny to you guys. Now, Henry was very astonished. He thought that initially he has promised that within next 3 years, in 6 equal installment, he is going to pay the money. And now he's taking back his own words. He's saying that I'm not able to pay a single, penny. Immediately, Henry, what did he do? He called the meeting of Calcutta Council or Bengal Council. And it was decided that this person is completely incompetent. He is unable to pay a single penny. So what is the use of him keeping as a Nawab? Why don't we choose a person who is contender to the throne of Nawab, who is competent enough and who will pay us the money? So why don't we choose such a person? Okay, so this was decided by whom? This was basically decided by Henry and the Calcutta Council. Accepted. Now whom to choose as the next Nawab? It was Mir Qasim who was chosen as the next Nawab. Okay. Obviously, if English East India Company is choosing the next Nawab or supporting a person in becoming the Nawab, they won't help in an easy manner. They're expecting something in return. So who was Mir Qasim? Mir Qasim, he was a contender through the throne of Nawab of Bengal. First thing. Yes, perfect, Abhishek. Okay. Second thing. What happened? Mir Qasim was son-in-law and military commander of Mir Jafar as well. And he was an able administrator in comparison to whom? His father-in-law, Mir Jafar. So English East India Company, specifically Henry, he put forward certain demands of English East India Company in front of Mir Qasim. And they signed a secret treaty. And there were certain, terms and conditions of the treaty. The first terms and condition was clear all the arrears due from Mir Jafar. Just we have discussed, Mir Jafar had already paid half the amount. And half the amount he had said that I would be paying in the next 3 years in 6 equal installment. And he was not capable of paying it later on. So Mir Qasim said that, okay, I will pay the due amount. Second thing, it is believed that English East India Company was following the policy of expansionism. It was following the policy of imperialism. And there was a complete situation of turmoil precisely in the Madras presidency, in southern region. So they had to continuously wage wars. And now for waging the wars, they require arms and ammunition. For purchasing arms and ammunition, they require money. Where will the money come from? Mir Qasim. Now, English East India Company asked Mir Qasim that, now pay us or give or finance us at least 50% of whatever war efforts that we are taking in southern part of India. Cede us additional territories such as Burdwan, Midnapur and Chittagong, which is located presently in Bangladesh, initially a part of East Bengal. And finally, we want 50% share in the profit in the trade of chunam. Chunam, that is limestone, which was taking place in the Sylhet district of Bangladesh presently. At that time, East Bengal. So these four conditions were put forward in front of Mir Qasim. And Mir Qasim readily accepted these conditions as a part of the secret treaty. Immediately, English East India Company asked Mir Jafar, either pay the remaining amount or get retired. We will pay you certain pension. Or be ready to fight a battle with us. Now, Mir Jafar had no other option. He retired specifically and he was given a mere pension. He retired to the region of Calcutta. And now, Mir Qasim, he became the new Nawab of Bengal. Is it clear, my friends? How was Mir Jafar replaced and how did Mir Qasim come to power? Is it clear? Do you want me to repeat any concept? I will repeat that. But the concepts should be crystal clear. Clear? Okay. Now let me repeat the point again. Okay? I'll repeat the points again in 30 seconds so that the students who have joined late can easily correlate what we have discussed in the first part of the session. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. Mir Jafar was a Nawab of Bengal. He had promised certain amount of money that needs to be paid to the English East India Company. Already by October 1757, he had paid the half of the amount of money. Now, remaining half, he had said that I will pay in 6 equal installments. Within 3 years, he was not capable of paying that money. Okay, so what happened? Robert Clive, he got retired at this point of time, and Henry Van Straat, he was chosen as the governor of Fort William or governor of Bengal. He started pressurizing Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar said that, I regret, I am not able to pay you the money. So Bengal Council decided that we will replace Mir Jafar as the governor of Bengal with Mir Qasim, who is an able administrator. And as a part of secret treaty, what happened? There were certain terms and conditions that were being put forward before Mir Qasim, to which he accepted. And Mir Qasim now became the new governor of Bengal. Now let's understand what policies did Mir Qasim actually follow that led to Battle of Buxar in 1764. Clear? Let's move further. Now Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim, he was an able administrator, unlike his father-in-law, who was Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar, he was nothing but a puppet in the hands of English East India Company. And this was not at all acceptable to Mir Qasim because he did not want to play the role of a puppet in the hands of English East India Company. And at this particular point of time, Mir Qasim, what did he do? As we had discussed, he had accepted 4 conditions. He had immediately fulfilled all the conditions. Why? Because if he did not fulfill any of the condition, he will be kept bonded in the hands of English East India Company. And if he wants to become a sovereign ruler, if he wants to become an independent ruler, he should not have control of anyone on him. And for this, what happened? He fulfilled all the 4 conditions. And now, Mir Qasim, he became the sovereign ruler of Bengal. As I've told you, Mir Qasim, he was an able administrator. How he was an able administrator? He came up with 3 important reforms. Administrative reforms, military reforms, and the third most important one, financial reforms. So please try and understand this. What administrative reforms did Mir Qasim come up with? Now pay attention carefully. At that time, Bengal province was a very big province, and it encompassed huge regions such as Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, East Bengal, that is present day Bangladesh. And previously, the capital had been transferred from Calcutta to Murshidabad. Let's understand this concept, okay? Calcutta to Murshidabad. So the capital of Nawab of Bengal was Murshidabad. And the trading hub of English East India Company was Calcutta. And the distance between Calcutta and Murshidabad was approximately 200 to 250 kilometers. Maximum. So it was not much distance. So what happened? There was continuous interference by the agents of English East India Company in the administration of Nawab of Bengal. Now what did Mir Qasim do? Mir Qasim, he played a very intelligent role here. He shifted the capital from Murshidabad to Mongiar. And where is Mongiar located? It is located in Bihar, and it is approximately 450 to 500 kilometers from Calcutta. So here, there would be very little interference of English East India Company in the administration of Mir Qasim. Clear? I'll repeat the point again. Initially, the capital of the Nawab of Bengal was Murshidabad, which is approximately 200 kilometers to 250 kilometers from Calcutta. So Calcutta was a major trading hub of English East India Company. And there was a lot of political interference by the agents of English East India Company in the administration of Mir Qasim. So what happened? He shifted the capital from Murshidabad to Mongiar, which is in Bihar. And it is approximately 450 to 500 kilometers from Calcutta. In this case, there would be very little interference. Now let's come up with military reforms that were being undertaken by Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim, as discussed previously, he was an able commander, plus initially he was also the military commander or military general of the army of Mir Jafar. So he personally led the command of his army. Secondly, he paid his soldiers well. Initially what used to happen during the time of Mir Jafar? Like Mir Jafar, he faced a lot of economic hardships and economic crisis. And due to this, he was not able to pay the soldiers in a very good manner. What did Mir Qasim do? He paid his soldiers well. And third important thing, he started inducing mercenary soldiers, particularly Armenian soldiers in his army. Okay, and these Armenian soldiers used to train the troops of Mir Qasim. And finally, he started developing weapon-making factory. At this time, English East India Company was observing everything, particularly Governor of Fort William, Henry. Okay, and the major cause that led to Battle of Buxar was financial reforms undertaken by Mir Qasim. And what was that? Let's understand this. Hope you have understood things in a step-by-step manner, because I've tried to explain things in a crystal clear manner. Okay? Now pay attention carefully. You have to understand this part now. Suppose I'm a trader. I'll give you a very small example so that you can understand this actual concept. Suppose I'm a trader. Okay. Now I have to, I'm a cotton trader. Now I have to sell my goods in a market. Okay. So I'm going from place A to place B. Place B, there's a market. Now what happens? There are 3 to 4 checkposts in between. And totally, I have to pay 40% as a tax at every checkpost. Okay? And English East India Company merchants, their agents, they did not have to pay a single penny as a tax. Simple words, it was a 0% tax for them. So Indian merchants, okay, they were paying 40% tax between these checkposts. And the merchants of English East India Company, they were paying 0% tax. Why? Because in 1717, Farooq Siyar, he was a Mughal emperor, and he had given dastak to English East India Company. What is dastak? Trade permit. You need not pay a single penny as a tax. And the agents of English East India Company, they were misusing these dastaks. They were selling these dastak. So what did Mir Qasim do? Mir Qasim abolished all the trade duties. Why? Because he wanted to bring the Indian trading community with the equal footing with English East India Company. Okay. So specifically speaking, equal footing. Kundan, they had established their weapon making factories at different places. Like Murshidabad was one of the factory, Mongyar was one of the factories. So they had established factories at different places. Okay. So please, let's come back to this. He abolished all the trade duties for everyone. Rather it be the merchants of English East India Company or it be the merchants of Indian trading community. And this hurted the interest of the British. So what did British said to Mir Qasim? That this is nothing but act of hostility towards the company. Okay. And if you do not revert back your decision and if you do not start taxing Indian merchants again, we will be forced to wage a war against you. So at this time, Mir Qasim was being deterred. But as I've told you, Mir Qasim, he was a sovereign ruler of Bengal. And he was independent to take his decisions. And he completely ignored the warning that was given by the merchants of English East India Company. And in 1763, what happened? English East India Company attacked Mir Qasim. And Mir Qasim was not ready. He was not prepared for this, what we say, attack. He was not prepared for this battle. And what happened? Mir Qasim, he fled to the region of Awadh. And the Nawab of Awadh at that time was Shuja-ud-Dawla. Now what happened? Again, the post of Nawab of Bengal, it became vacant. Correct? Now what had happened previously? Mir Jafar, he was initially asked to get retired and move to the region of Calcutta. Correct? Now English East India Company knew one thing, that situation now is stabilized. Why don't we reinstate Mir Jafar on the throne of Nawab of Bengal? Because previously he was a puppet for us. Now also he will work as a puppet for us. So again, Mir Jafar was being reinstated as the Nawab of Bengal. Are the points clear till here? Did you understand the role of Mir Qasim, his administrative, military and financial reforms? हो सकता है, like there might be a change in the spelling of establish. But did you understand the concept? Yes. Clear? Do you want me to repeat something? Tanmay, I have explained everything about Mir Jafar. Everything in the start of the session itself. Mir Jafar, I'll explain it again for easier understanding of the concept. Within short, Mir Jafar initially, he was Nawab of Bengal. He was being replaced as Nawab of Bengal by his son-in-law and military commander whose name was Mir Qasim. And due to the administrative, military and financial reforms of Mir Qasim, he was being replaced again by Mir Jafar. Point is clear? Okay, no issues, Tanmay. Did you understand? Now in simple, I've explained that. Okay, now let's move ahead. As I have told you, this person, Mir Jafar, he worked as a puppet for English East India Company. And since he worked as a puppet for English East India Company, what happened? He reversed all the decisions that was being taken by Mir Qasim. Indian merchants were again taxed. Secondly, all the taxes were being abolished for the merchants of English East India Company, except 2% duty, like specifically on salt trade. Okay? Now what happened further? Let's understand. As I've told you, when English East India Company attacked Mir Qasim had fled to the region of Awadh. And at that time, Nawab of Awadh was Shuja-ud-Dawla. Shuja-ud-Dawla, what happened specifically? He had given asylum to Mir Qasim. But Mir Qasim comes to know one more thing. What? That he is not the only person who has taken asylum with Nawab of Awadh. There is one more person who has taken asylum from Nawab of Awadh. And who was he? Shah Alam II, the later Mughal emperor. Okay? So who was Shah Alam II? Let's understand about this. Like, after Aurangzeb, there were many later Mughal rulers. The first one being Bahadur Shah I, followed by Farooq Siyar, who had given dastaks to English East India Company around 1717. Then comes Muhammad Shah Rangila. Then comes Ahmad Shah Bahadur. And finally comes Alamgir II. Now what happened? Alamgir II, who was the Mughal emperor, he was being killed by his own military commander, whose name was Imad-ul-Mulk. So he killed his own master, Alamgir II. And Alamgir II had a son named as Shah Alam II. So Imad-ul-Mulk knew one thing. As soon as this person, Alamgir II, would be killed, immediately Shah Alam II will declare himself as the emperor. And he will become the contender to the throne of Mughal Empire. So why don't I kill his son, Shah Alam II, as well? So what did Shah Alam II do? Shah Alam II, he fled to the region of Awadh, and he was given asylum by Nawab of Awadh, Shuja-ud-Dawla. Clear? Can you understand the entire conspiracy, what is going on? Okay? Yes, crazy twist of events. Correct, Tanmay. So what happened? I'll repeat the points again within short. Like, when English East India Company had attacked the region of specifically, they had attacked Mir Qasim fled away and took asylum and took shelter in the court of whom? Shuja-ud-Dawla. Shah Alam II, what did he do? Shah Alam II, he had fled to the region of Nawab of Awadh and he had taken asylum there. Now Shah Alam II, he did not had his capital. Secondly, he did not had any region to govern, but still Shah Alam II had declared himself as the Mughal emperor. He had nothing under him. Apart from this, he had declared what we say Shuja-ud-Dawla, who had given him asylum as his prime minister or wazir. Okay. Now what happened? Mir Qasim thought that, like you might have heard about a saying, enemy's enemy is a friend. So what happened? All these three decided to make an alliance. And a triple alliance was made against English East India Company. Triple alliance means Shuja-ud-Dawla, Nawab of Awadh, Mir Qasim, who was previously the Nawab of Bengal, and Shah Alam II, who has declared himself as the next Mughal emperor. And they started moving towards the region of Bengal. English East India Company comes to know about this. And when English East India Company comes to know about this, immediately the army of the company was being dispatched. And both of their armies met at a place called as Buxar in 1764. And this led to one of the famous battles, which is referred as Battle of Buxar as a part of modern Indian history. Now, what happened after Battle of Buxar? It is said that the Triple Alliance got defeated. And this person, Mir Qasim, he fled away from the battlefield. Okay? And later on, he was found dead. Now, there are two people left. Who are they? Shuja-ud-Dawla and Shah Alam II. By now, Robert Clive was again sent to India as a governor of Bengal from 1765 to 1767. And Robert Clive now signed Treaty of Allahabad, with whom he signed Treaty of Allahabad specifically with Shuja-ud-Dawla and whom? this person Shah Alam too. Now Robert Clive says both of them, I have a good news and a bad news for both of you. So what's the good news? The first good news to Shuja-ud-Dawla is like, we will treat you as Nawab of Awadh. And the good news for Shah Alam too is, we will reinstall you as the Mughal emperor. So Shah Alam II was made as the Mughal emperor and Shuja-ud-Dawla was made as the Nawab of Awadh. Now the first question that Shah Alam II asked Robert Clive is that, already I have declared myself as the Mughal emperor, although I don't have any capital. Okay? Although I don't have any region. So what's the use of you declaring me as the Mughal emperor? Okay. And secondly, I don't have a single penny right now. Correct? So what did English East India Company do? English East India Company said, don't worry. We will also give you certain regions to govern. So English East India Company, specifically Robert Clive, he instructed Shuja-ud-Dawla, that is Nawab of Awadh, give the region of Kara and Allahabad, that is present-day Prayagraj, to Shah Alam II, so that at least he will have a region to govern. First thing. And secondly, Robert Clive said that, do not worry, we will also give you 26 lakh rupees. So this person, Shah Alam II, he became happy. Yes, that they are giving me 26 lakh rupees. But as I have told you, English East India Company won't give you anything for free. They have some or the other intention going on in their mind. So that was a good news. What was the good news for both of them? That is, Shuja-ud-Dawla was made as the Nawab of Awadh and Shah Alam II was declared as what? The emperor, Mughal emperor. Okay. Plus Shah Alam II was given the region of Kara and Allahabad by Shuja-ud-Dawla. Secondly, Shah Alam II was given 26 lakh rupees. By whom? English East India Company. Now what happened? English East India Company said, now what's the bad news for Shah Alam II? Now we have not given you 26 lakh rupees for free. We want you to work as a puppet for us. So Shah Alam II was confused. Now what are you seeking in return? Like specifically, English East India Company said that we want free trading permit, that is dastak, of 3 regions, and that is Bihar, Bengal and Odisha. We want Diwani rights also of this region. Now what is Diwani rights? Diwani rights are the rights for collecting the revenue. The spelling is wrong. It is not rots, my friend. It is rights. R-I-G-H-T-S. Okay. A bit of spelling mistake. So specifically, after Battle of Buxar, Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha was given to English East India Company. This episodic event in the history of modern India or India's freedom struggle is referred as Battle of Buxar, which took place in 1764. As per many historians, like there's a book of R.C. Dattaji, which is referred as Economic History of India. In that book, it is mentioned that approximately from 1757 to 1764, the period of specifically 7 to 8 years, 4.94 million pound was being drained out of India. Approximately, I'm saying you, it's an approximate figure. And after getting the Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, approximately from 1764 till 1857, okay, more than 20 million pounds was being drained out of India. Is it clear about Battle of Buxar, my friends? Yes, please. Clear? Okay, just a second. Yes, somebody had asked me a question, sir, where to download the PDF of the session from? Okay. My friends, you can download the PDF of this session specifically from the Telegram channel, that is history_Alok Ojha. Tomorrow, I would be coming with another important session on Regulating Act 1773, Pitt's India Act 1784, Charter Act 1813. Okay, Kundan, you are new to the platform. Hope you understood things. Thanks a lot for the appreciation. You can watch the previous videos of ancient, medieval and modern as well. Okay, Kundan? So my friends, let me inform you about one important thing. StudyIQ IAS has come up with a fast-track batch. And this fast-track batch will cover your prelims examination syllabus just within 7 to 8 months. Like many of the aspirants, they have a good preparation for the prelims. Okay. And secondly, they have a good preparation for mains, but they are not able to qualify the prelims. And in that case, what happens? Until and unless you qualify the prelims examination, how can you appear for the mains? So prelims becomes a major hurdle for many of the aspirants. StudyIQ IAS has come up with fast-track batch majorly which will focus on the prelims examination. And here, your syllabus would be covered in quite depth and detail. And the prices are very affordable. The price is 7499 onwards. I repeat, 7499 onwards. And the last day to avail the benefits of this course is today. So it's a part of Dussehra sale. Okay? So please do visit the website of StudyIQ IAS. Therein, you will get the features of the courses. It's a fast-track batch. Okay, and the fee specifically, it starts from 7499, which is quite affordable and pocket-friendly as well. So it's a major batch dedicated for preparation of prelims. Clear? And what do you need to do in that case? Use the code that is flashing on your screen. I repeat, the code is Alok Live. Okay? I repeat the code Alok Live. Similarly, the courses are available for 2027 and 2028 as well. But the most important aspect is the last day to get the benefits of these courses is today. That is 3rd September. Okay, my friends, as a part of Dussehra sale. So with this, I'll stop my words. Tomorrow, I'll see you at the same time, 1 p.m. with the topic Regulating Act 1773, Pitts India Act 1784, Charter Act 1813 in quite depth and detail. Is it clear? And tomorrow, there would be no major PPT or PDF. Tomorrow, I would be explaining everything on the blackboard, digital board. And here you need to have a pen and paper along with you so that you can note down the important points. Hope the point is clear, my friends. Okay? With this, I'll stop my words for the day. Hope the session was interesting and you learned something new. Thank you and have a wonderful day.